we're going to talk about making money. Who wants to talk about making money?
Me.
Let's go.
Yes, Christian.
Let's go.
Right? Kimberly, you ready? Make money?
Make more.
Absolutely, Christian.
Make more money?
Make more money.
Yeah, more money is always good.
All right. Well, I'm very excited because, especially Fridays. Fridays, you get you just came from a payday pretty much. Our payday is always Thursday. So every single week, you get that text and you see everybody, you see everybody in the team make money. I love it. I hope more people make money. And because this is what we do. I mean, this is why we're in business, is to generate income, generate business income. So we can do what we love to do. Money is not just for ourselves, especially, my personal belief, it's to do a lot of great things, fulfill your purpose, whether it's do something for God, for your church, for your family, for people around you, and do great things for charity, and just, really fulfill your dreams and your goals. And that's money is a tool to actually fulfill that. So I'm excited always. I see some new people make some record-breaking cash flow again. And in our business, when people make money, you have people in your team make money, you make money. You have more people make money, you make more money as well. So that's really very exciting. It's exciting to see your paycheck every week increase. But if that's not you right now, this is the training for you. Okay. So you say, well, Christian, I'm not so excited yet about my paycheck. Okay. So that's fine. Okay. So today we're going to talk about focusing on the main things that make money. Okay. So it's all about the focus. It's actually what you focus on, that's what you're going to get. So let's talk about this. Okay. So let's talk about focusing on the things that make money. Okay. So we have, just think about this. Okay. All of us have the same number of hours, during the day, but how come some people make more money than others? Right? Why? Because the ones who make more money in their business, generate more cash flow in their business, whether it's OIC or any other business, is because they focus on the main things. They spend the same amount of hours that we all have. We all have 24 hours. We put time to sleep. We still have time to eat, take care of our family. And for some, we have 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours to put into work that focuses on the main things that actually make money. So let's talk about this. What are the main things that make money? And this is a guide. This is an outline that I've learned over the years, and it's nice to hear this also from our CEO Brad Pham kind of reiterate some of these main things that will help grow our business. So let's go over these things. Okay. These are the main things. So if you're not doing these things, when you look at your calendar, okay, if your goal is to make money during the day, you want to look at your calendar and you want to ask yourself, how many hours do you put into these things? So the main things in business that generate income are prospecting, contacting, presenting, doing your appointments, doing follow-ups. And really, if you look at it, it's really anything that will get a recruit or a sale. Okay. And you focus on your personal activities and results, and you focus on your base shop if you're a BD, or you focus on your team. Okay. So these are the things. Don't worry, we're going to break this down. Okay. So I hope you take a lot of notes this morning, but we're going to break these things down. Okay. So we're going to start with prospecting. First thing. Okay. Are you prospecting? Okay. Like I said, you look at your calendar right now. Who are you prospecting? How many people are you prospecting? Okay. So as you know, I've always shared my calendar. I always have what we call a power hour. Okay, what is power hour? It's a time where you're actually following up, you're actually prospecting. I prospect a lot of people, whether it's social media, warm market. So your prospects could be anybody. A prospect is somebody who may or may not join you, somebody who may or may not buy from you. Okay, so it's anybody you should put into your infinite list. So who are those? Some of you have a warm market, people around you. You say you love helping people. Who are the first people you want to help? Your warm market, your mom, your dad. That's why I have my whole family in the business, because they're the first people I talk to in this business, right? That's your warm market. Your family, your natural market. Everybody has a natural market. Everybody has a coworker. Everybody has a neighbor. Everybody has a doctor. Everybody has a dentist. So we have a whole infinite jogger checklist on our back office. You want to check that. It's a whole list of people. So there's no reason why you don't have anybody to actually prospect. And when you prospect somebody, you're adding them to your infinite list. So this could be also cold market or social media. Some are very good at cold market. So I see some people here like Ariana. She will prospect anybody from a gas station. Anywhere she goes, you actually prospect. Some of you are maybe not so good at it, but hey, if you're out there trying to find a cure for financial cancer, I think you take it from that perspective, you'll be able to talk to anybody. And social media. So some of you, if you haven't used social media yet, yesterday I was also prospecting somebody I actually had 4 new prospects from social media. I saw their post. One of my friends in Houston, she just said she's been 20 years in healthcare. So right away, what I did was like her post, made a comment, message her on social media. I message her right away and say, hey, are you, congratulations, you've been 20 years in healthcare. So are you happy with what you're doing? So I just connected. I'm prospecting. So let me give you a question here, okay? Because some of you here stop prospecting. You prospect very few people. But here's what I've learned, right? Think about every prospect that you have is worth $100. Think about this, okay? If you made $100 for a new prospect, how many would you prospect every day? If you made $100 every single new prospect that you have, how many would you actually prospect? And let me tell you why the $100 rule. Okay, so let's just say you prospect about 10 people, and out of those 10 people, maybe you get 1 sale, and out of that 1 sale, you make $1,000. And that's a very simple rule of thumb. It happens. That's actually a good ratio. Out of 10 people you prospect, maybe you get 3 appointments, maybe you make 1 sale. So let's say you make $1,000 out of that. So think about this. So that's how you get $100 per prospect. But you needed to prospect not only 1 to make that $1,000. You needed to get 10 prospects to get those 3 appointments to get that 1 sale. So if you look at it, it's $100 per prospect, right? So again, I want to ask you, if you made $100 per prospect, how many would you prospect? So what if you had 30 new prospects? So you just made $3,000 there, right? So if you use a system, our system works. So that's the first thing, prospecting. Second thing is contacting. So after you prospect them, you add them to your infinite list, you contact them. How do you contact people? However you connect with people. Today, there's so much technology. There's so many ways to actually connect with people. Back in the days, it was just only a phone call. So you contact people through phone. I think that's always the best, but there's always texting, email. So however you actually communicate with somebody, maybe your coworker needs to be prospected through email. Why? Because that's your normal way of conversing with somebody is email. Just like yesterday, I prospected somebody through Messenger because that's the way we normally connect. It's Messenger. I actually don't have her phone number. We've always just communicated on Messenger. Last month, I did get a prospect. I submitted an application, and just by uh, actually messaging her and just asking, hey, are you back in Dallas now? She says, yes, I'm back in Dallas. I have a new job and all that. And we got to talk, and we ended up doing an application for her, and that was all on Messenger. The only time I got her phone number was actually when I did the e-application. So it's however you contact people. I mean, there's so many ways right now, whether it's WhatsApp, Telegram, how else? Drop by. If it's your family, if you know some family members, how do you contact your family members? If they live in your area, you just drop by. And, when I was new in the business, I know there was a script that I wanted to follow. So I tried to use the script on my brother. So, and, I said, hey, I just wanted to see if you're busy tonight at 7 p.m. And he's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Are you trying to sell me something? Don't be weird, be natural. How do you normally talk to people? For some of you, you just drop by people's houses. Then drop by. So, but what is the main thing about contacting? Anything that will lead to an appointment. Okay. So what is a successful phone call? What is a successful text? What is a successful email? What is a successful messaging, right? Or direct messaging? Anything that you do or you say that will lead to the appointment. Okay. So when I contact people and when I do a phone call, a lot of times it's, 5 minutes, not even more than 5 minutes when I contact people. Why? Because the main objective of contacting people is to lead to an appointment. Either I invite them one-on-one, I invite them on Zoom and say, hey, I just wanted to share something with you. I want to catch up with you on Zoom. I want to tell you more about it. What are you doing tomorrow at 12 noon? Are you free at 12? Yes. Okay, I'll send you the Zoom code. That's it. The purpose of contacting is to get an appointment. It's not to present. Okay. So a lot of times I see a lot of new associates, what they try to do is get on that phone and try to convince somebody about the business or the IUL, and they try to make people make a decision without enough information, right? And that's the reason why a lot of our associates get a lot of rejection, because you contact people and you try to do a mini presentation and you try to ask them if they want to buy or they want to join without enough information. Once again, I'm going to reiterate this. The purpose of contacting people is to get an appointment. Okay. So, in a lot of times that could be a 5-minute, 10-minute phone call. Okay. So next, presenting. So when you contact, what's the goal? Present. How do you present? So when you contact, you want to know your target. Is it to put them in the presentation? My first goal is always to get them to a presentation, a group presentation, whether it's your Tuesday at 7 p.m. or if any of your teams or your BDs, your leaders actually have your a special presentation, whether it's maybe on your Thursday meeting or whatever meeting. Why is it still ideal to bring guests to a presentation? Because you can do a lot of it. You can have not just one guest to a presentation. You can have 3, you can have 10, you can have 100 if you can invite 100 people. So yeah, that's always my first goal, to present, because I can do it massively. I can do it with a lot of people. So But next is, let's say they're not available at Thursday, 7 p.m. Let's do a one-on-one. That's simple. Okay. I'm not available in the evenings. Perfect. That's okay. Right. What's your availability during the afternoon? I actually have 3 to 5. I have a prospect who said it's really just about 3 to 5, because after I pick up the kids, I have that time frame. So let's do a one-on-one. Okay. So if you're not able to present yet, do joint work. Get a trainer. Schedule the appointment. Get a trainer and say, hey, I was able to book a presentation with one of my prospects, one of my friends. I need you to actually help me, present. So, and one of the goals, if you're new here, or your new associates, if you're a trainer here, your goal is to teach your team to put 10 people in front of you. Right? If you're new here, you're not doing presentations yet, put 10 people in front of your trainer. Okay. It could be in person or Zoom. Okay. I like it in person. I also love it in Zoom, but anything where you can actually share your excitement. One thing that when you're actually presenting is that they have to see, they have to hear your excitement. Some people always say, hey, is it okay? I just send the video and all that. We have all recordings of our business presentation, but why don't we just kind of send that massively out? That also works, but only to a certain extent. Why? Because people have to see your excitement. And I joined this business because I saw the excitement of the person who wanted to recruit me. They're so excited. I said, there must be something here. It made me very, very curious about what this business was. So that's what presenting is. Okay. So, and one thing about presentation, you just got to trust the presentation. I do 8 ways presentation. The question, do you do the full 8 ways presentation? When you're on the field, you may do it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, touch on a lot of the things that I always touch on 8 ways, and I just get feedback. After presenting, the most important thing is you ask them, is there anything here out of these 8 ways that interest you the most, that will impact you the most? What out of these 8 things impacted you the most? Listen, just listen to them. They may say, well, I've actually lost some money. Well, you know what? I really don't have that living benefits, right? Or I'm getting close to retirement. I don't have that guaranteed lifetime income, right? Or I'm worried about my taxes. Great. Well, let's set up a next meeting so that we can go over some things with you. Okay. Or if they say, well, I want to make more money too. I want to get in the industry. Okay. I want to build a business. I want to earn equity, whichever it is out of those things. Now it leads you to the next thing, the next main thing you focus on, the appointment. After the presentation, get an appointment. What are here are the main things that when you say you got an appointment. For me, these are just when you're doing joint work or an appointment, okay? It's either a business interview from a presentation, okay? Or an F&A, okay? Or showing illustrations, submitting an e-app or an application. For ERP, we have the term M1, M2, M3, M4, okay? That's the sales cycle. Or signing up a recruit. That's an appointment. So if you look at your calendar, how many appointments do you have today? What does that mean? How many business interviews do you have today? Right? I started my day. The first thing on my schedule was an 8 a.m. business interview. That's how I start my day. So you got F&As. Yesterday we did joint work with one of our team members. I think she's here. From a prospect in California, and we did a partial part of F&A, gathered information, showed some illustrations, and then submitted an e-app. What is that? That's an appointment. So what does that do? When you submit an e-app, does that make money? Does that generate income? Absolutely. So signing up a recruit. How does signing up a recruit make money? Well, number one is you're able to help them help their family first. That's a sale. 2, field train them. If you're a new recruit, 10 people in front of you, you do joint work, then you've got more new prospects that you can actually contact, present, and then schedule an appointment. Same thing. So it generates a lot of business. So like right now, I mean, I can tell one thing I do focus on is how many appointments in the team do we have, right? Business interviews, F&As, illustrations, apps, and recruits. Okay. So next thing, follow up. Follow up. Okay. Earlier we were talking about, Ed was talking about, money's in the follow up. Absolutely. How do you follow up? You got to make sure you got a list to follow up, right? Your infinite list. When you're prospecting, you're always adding people, okay, to the list. Okay. If you're actually prospecting, okay, you're always adding people to your infinite list every day. Okay, so your infinite list should be always growing. Any new prospect that you have should be in your infinite list. When you say 88 infinite list, that's only the beginning. But every day you're in business, you add more to your list. Okay, so imagine this. If you were a brick and mortar business, and when you opened your business 5 years ago, you had 88 potential customers. Right? So think about this. Let's say a few years later, how many prospects on that list should a business have? Still 88? If you still have the same 88 people on your potential customer list, then my guess is that business did not survive. So I want to ask some of you here on your infinite list. Have you added pages and pages and pages to your infinite list? If you haven't, that's probably why, if you have not, maybe that's why your cash flow is not growing, because that's where the money is, right? It's your prospects. Now, how else can you find people to follow up? The past few meetings, we've talked about mapping out your organization. If you map out your organization, you're going to see who else needs to be followed up. If you draw your organization, you're going to see, okay, we have a new associate here. Okay. We need to take this associate on the field. I need to sit down with this associate, help them prospect, contact with people on their infinite list. Now you have more people to follow up. Okay. So if you map out your organization, you're going to find so many more follow-ups you can do. What else are sorts of follow-ups? Previous calendar. Okay. So do this. If you have a calendar, whether it's on paper or appointment book or your Gmail calendar, take a look at your calendar. Take a look at last month. Look at all the appointments you did and look at it and say, oh, this was a no-show. Okay. Well, this one, we did an appointment, but nothing happened. We said we're going to meet again, but we don't have a meeting. We didn't meet again. This, if you're an ERP, this one, we did a meeting 1, but never had a meeting 2. Then follow up. Okay. So look at your previous calendar. If you look back the last 6 months on your previous calendar, I promise you this, you can find at least 10 appointments. 10 appointments to follow up. Right? So who else? Where else can you find people to follow up? Guests to presentation. I hope you actually list your guests to the presentation. Okay. Sometimes, you schedule a business interview right away, F&A right away. It doesn't happen, but you follow up. Where else? Your team members guests to the presentation. Your team. Some of you already have a team. And that's why it's important after every presentation, you check with your team member. How was your guest? Let's set up a meeting right away. Okay. If not, take their name, put them in your list. Okay. For ERP, if you're for some of you who are in ERP, appointment requests. I heard, I believe Charlotte just followed up on all the appointment requests that they received. On ERP, you have a just being part of ERP, if you've been on ERP for the last 6 months, 1 year, okay, I promise you, you have at least 60 people you can follow up. Okay. Those are the ones that actually set an appointment with you, but fell through the cracks. How do I know? Because that's the same way with me. Okay. You have a lot of follow-up to actually do. And I heard that after doing about 20, 30 follow-ups, they were able to set up 10 new appointments. That was just one wave of follow-ups. There's more follow-ups to come. That's 10 appointments. So that 10 appointments, how much money will that generate? That's going to generate a lot of cash flow in the next couple of weeks. Okay. No shows. Everybody who no showed you. Okay. Go back. Okay. Follow up. A lot of you have been talking about ERC, been training on ERC. That's a whole list to follow up. Okay. So let me read to you the sales follow-up statistics. Okay. Because a lot of people ask, so Christian, how many times are you supposed to follow up? Just follow these statistics. Okay. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. And 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So how many times will you contact people? Right? If you want to make a sale, a lot of times we stop on that first contact or that second. Maybe we get to a third, right? But that's why we only have 5% of the sales. Okay. And think about this. 48% of salespeople never follow up with the prospect, right? 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. And 12% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts, only 12%. Are you part of that 12% or are you part of the 48%, right? So take a look at your activity today. Who are you? Are you that someone who is ready to make money, ready to follow up? Okay, so follow up is part of the main things. Okay, so so the last few things here, the main things. Okay, there's two ways that you have there's a two-way test if it's a money-making activity or not. Okay, so even if I've talked to prospecting, contacting, presentation, and appointments. Okay, you ask yourself, any activity you're doing today, anything you're spending time on, anything that's on your calendar today, question, will it lead to a sale? Will it lead to a sale? Whatever you're doing, whatever you're going to do today, will it lead to a sale? The second test, will it lead to a recruit? That's it, right? If you look at all your activities today, will it lead to a sale? Will it lead to a recruit? Okay, so you focus on your personal activities and then focus on your results. You can only control you. You can control you. We can keep talking about how everyone else in the organization and all that, but the first thing, the main thing is that you control you. What are your personal activities with your personal prospects? And what results do you generate? Okay. And then focus on your base shop and then your team. Okay. Check with your team. Like right now, that's why we have 9 a.m. When we have 9 a.m., it's our way of saying who has an activity, who has a result. That's why we have our billionaire community. Who has an activity, who has a result. And that's the way you focus on the main things of the business. Call your team. Check with your team. Hey, how are you doing? What's going on today? Do you have some activities that you need some help with? Can I help you generate some activities? Who are you contacting? Who are you prospecting? Can we get about 2-3 results today? Can we get 1 sale today? Can we get 1 recruit today? Right? So those are things that you actually focus on. I'm going to close with this. If you focus and put in massive action, you will achieve what you believe. Okay? So if you focus and put in massive action, on the main things, you will actually achieve what you believe. Okay. So I hope that this actually helps you really ask yourself and focus. Okay. If your goal is to make some serious money in this business, all the notes that you took today, ask yourself, are you focusing on the main things, the money-making activities in the business? Okay. Thanks, everybody.
The world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. When I'm a billionaire. Let's go. I'll be playing basketball with the president, dunking on his delegates. Then I compliment him on his political etiquette. Toss a couple million in the air just for the heck of it, but keep the 5s, 20s, 10s, and bins completely separate. Yeah.